This is Passion with Dr. Lori Bettito on Montreal's News Talk Leader, CJAD 800.
Tonight, it's Dating Dilemmas. We do that once a month. We pick a topic, a dilemma for single people out there. And this month's dilemma is dating exes of friends, good friends, or family members, in fact. Frank Kermit is in studio with me of franktalks.com. And Maureen joins us. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Maureen. Do we have Maureen on the line? No? All right, Will. 514-790-0991. You can also text us at 514-800. Frank, should we be asking permission? Like, if I was interested in my best friend's, ex, do I say to her, by the way, would you mind if I dated such and such?
I think it depends if you're willing to let the potential relationship go. And if you're willing to let it go, then yeah, ask permission, because there's a chance that your friend is going to say no.
Okay, but letting what go? Letting the potential relationship?
Letting the potential romantic relationship go.
Right. Okay.
If you're willing to let the potential romantic relationship go, sure, ask permission. If you really feel that this might be a shot for you to reach some level of connection that you haven't reached before, I wouldn't ask permission as much as just say, hey, there's something I got to let you know. I've started seeing somebody, and it's somebody you know. In fact, it's somebody you know very well. And then let the conversation build from there. Prior to bringing it up, you might also want to test the waters and say, let's talk about our exes. And then in the process of talking about exes, see if the person wishes their ex happiness, or see if there's still a lot of hurt feelings involved.
Okay, let's just say there's still a lot of hurt feelings involved. Why would you risk it? If you know, you're gauging the situation. So if I'm speaking to my best friend and I see that she's still very upset over the breakup, or, she thinks he was the biggest ass or whatever, and then I go and say, well, guess what? I'm dating him. That would kill it right there.
It might. At the same time, though, you're getting a perspective of a relationship that didn't work out. And
that's true.
Unless you don't, we don't know what really goes on between two people.
Behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors. And
true.
She might be saying he was a jerk and so on and so forth, but maybe she calls every single one of her ex-boyfriends a jerk because she's mad that it didn't work out.
Or that they broke up with her or whatever.
Exactly. So you have to be a decent judge of character, and if everybody says, well, this person's jerk, this person's trouble, and you still respond to that, that's your own issue you got to work out.
That's true.
But most people don't think really well of their exes. They always say, well, there was that one thing that we couldn't connect on or get past, and there's always going to be a little bit of a hurt feeling. Very few people break up and say, well, we're broken up, there's no hurt feelings, but everything's great. Yeah. It's just not realistic.
Well, sometimes that just takes time, and I wonder if it's a question of time. If your best friend recently split up, and then you jump on the chance to be with this ex of hers or his,
I find that questionable too. I understand what you're saying. If they've just broken up, what I usually advise is: are you sure that they've completely ended the relationship, or did they just break up because they had a fight and within a few hours everybody will cool off and things will continue on? So before you date the ex of a friend, make sure it's an actual ex and not just a bump in the road of that particular relationship.
But even if it is a breakup, and the ex, the friend is devastated by the breakup or what have you, there should be some time to let your friend heal or help. Otherwise, you're going to look like a vulture. You're like so uncompassionate. Your friend is hurting, and you're going and starting to date their ex who hurt them so badly, or the cause of their hurt, and then you're jumping into a relationship with them. I don't know. To me, that would lack some compassion, I would think, no matter how much you think it might be a potential relationship.
Well, what if the person was your potential soulmate? What if that person, like again?
But maybe we disagree on this. But I think we have many potential soulmates in our lifetime, or.
I agree that we have a number of soulmates. I don't question that at all. So we're on the same page. What I'm saying is, yes, those two people didn't work out, and your friend is maybe really hurting. you would have to make a choice at that point. Are you going to be there for your friend, or are you going to pursue a relationship for yourself?
I know what I would do.
What would you do?
I would be there for my friend. I would, if I was really interested in that person, I would wait. I would wait until my friend was healed, or I felt that there, was no more deep hurt feelings, and then talk about it, and then say, look, how would you feel?
I take the very different perspective, because I've been in that situation where my ex-fiance ended up with one of my best friends.
Oh, jeez.
And what really hurt me in this situation was that he was the guy I would go to talk about it.
Oh.
So he was being the guy, he was being my rock, who I would go there and say, boy, I don't understand. Why is she being like this? We're having fights about this. He used to say things to me like, boy, I don't know how you can stand to be with her. I would never date a girl like this.
And then he ends up with her.
He ends up with her. For a while, he was writing her love letters, and I only found out about this afterwards. So when I'm hearing, okay, be there for the friend, well, if you have already got an interest in the ex, I think being there for the friend is not legitimate, because it'll always be...
It's not real, is what you're saying. It's not sincere.
You know what? Let's be clear. It could be sincere.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that when he was there for me, he was really trying to be there for me. But for the rest of my life, it's always in the back of my head. Was he just looking to gather information?
Oh.
Was he just saying to me, Frank, you're better off without her? Why? Because he wanted her?
Oh.
So we don't know. Until I
Right.
sit down and have a conversation with him, we don't know. There was a certain amount of time that passed before he started dating her and the time I broke up. The key element for me, when I was going through this process, I blamed him for the breakup. We never would have broken up if it wasn't for him. The reality is, we would have broken up anyway, whether or
Right.
not she started dating my friend. And this is why I get back to the basic principle. Everybody has the right to find a soulmate. Everybody's going to meet somebody. When you break up with somebody, you have to accept that they're going to date somebody else the day after.
Of course. Well, possibly the day after, but I guess you just don't count on them dating the next person closest to you.
You don't count on it, but understanding that they're going to date whoever they want because they have the right to do that, just like you do.
Yeah.
It helps you deal with that. I teach people that, look, when you break up, you have to mean it. And breaking up means that they're going to be with somebody else the very next day. That's what it could potentially mean.
They have to be free. It means, yeah, you're setting them free. Or you're set, right.
Yeah, and if you're not comfortable with that idea, don't break up with them. Work it out.
Good point. 514-790-0991. If you've been in this situation, dating the ex of a friend, a close friend, or a family member, we'd love to hear from you. You can also...
From Loser to Seducer is the story of Frank B. Kermit. This book marks the triumph of a nice guy over most of his inner demons. This includes going from being a loser to managing 5 lovers at the same time, his first Valentine's date with 2 women at the same time, and getting back the one that got away. Want to learn how you can change your life? Buy this book at franktalks.com.